Multi-step inequalities. The steps for solving multi-step inequalities are exactly the same as the steps for solving multi-step equations. The only difference is that when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must reverse the inequality symbol. In example 1, begin by combining like terms. This gives us 5x minus 3 is greater than negative 13. Now add 3 to both sides of the inequality. Finally, divide both sides by positive 5. This means that we will not reverse the inequality since we are dividing by a positive. The answer is x is greater than negative 2. We use a hollow circle at negative 2 and color to the right on the number line since the mouth of the symbol is facing the x. Now pause the video and try the next example yourself. Now that you have tried it, check your work. First, combine like terms. 2x minus 4x is negative 2x. So we have negative 2x minus 3 is less than or equal to 1. Now add 3 to both sides of the inequality. For negative 2x is less than or equal to 4. Now we must divide by a negative 2. When we divide by a negative, we must reverse the inequality. This gives us x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Since the or equal is in the solution, we must start with a solid circle at negative 2. Since the mouth of the symbol is towards x, we color to the right along the number line. In example 3, we start with distribution. This gives us 30 minus 7x is less than 6x. Distribute the negative for negative 2x plus 8. Our second step is to combine like terms. 6x minus 2x is 4x. Bring down the other terms. The third step is to move the variable. We can move it either way, but the best choice is to add 7x to both sides because this will give us a positive coefficient of x, thus preventing us from having to flip the inequality symbol later. This gives us 30 is less than 11x plus 8. Now subtract 8 from both sides of the inequality. We now have 22 is less than 11x. Divide both sides by a positive 11, giving us 2 is less than x. This can also be written as x is greater than 2. Graph it by putting a hollow circle at 2 and draw the arrow to the right since the mouth of the symbol is towards the variable. Now pause the video and try example 4 yourself. Now that you have tried it, check your work. Step 1 is to distribute, giving us 4x plus 20 is less than or equal to 7x minus 4. The next step is to move the variable term. Ideally, we would like the coefficient of x to be positive, so we won't have to divide by a negative later and reverse the inequality. So let's subtract 4x from both sides of the inequality. This gives us 20 is less than or equal to positive 3x minus 4. Add 4 to both sides. For 24 is less than or equal to 3x. Finally, divide both sides by 3. Our solution is 8 is less than or equal to x, which can also be written as x is greater than or equal to 8. Because of the or equal sign, we do a solid circle at 8. Because the mouth is towards the variable, we draw the arrow to the right. In example 5, we begin with distribution. For 30x minus 12 is less than negative 18x minus 60. Once again, we would like to have a positive coefficient for x, so we will add 18x to both sides of the inequality. We now have 48x minus 12 is less than negative 60. Now add 12 to both sides of the inequality. We now have 48x is less than negative 48. Finally, divide both sides by positive 48. This means we do not have to reverse the inequality. The result is x is less than -1. Draw a hollow circle at -1. The arrow points to the left since the inequality symbol is pointing towards the variable. Now pause the video and try the last example yourself. Now that you have tried it, check your work. Begin with distribution. -8 minus 5x is greater than or equal to 1 minus 8x plus 48. Now combine like terms. Our like terms are 1 and 48. We now have -8 minus 5x is greater than or equal to 49 minus 8x. Now add 8x to both sides of the inequality so that we will get a positive 3 as our coefficient of x. This gives us -8 plus 3x is greater than or equal to 49. Now add 8 to both sides of the inequality. We now have 3x is greater than or equal to 57. Divide both sides by 3 for x is greater than or equal to 19. Draw a solid circle at 19. The arrow goes to the right since the open mouth of the symbol is towards the variable. Please refer often to these notes as you complete your homework. Thank you.